Welcome back, guys. Today we have a video on the E39 that we have not featured on the channel in a really long time. If you guys don't know, this is a 2003 540i M Sport. You can see M parallels. It's got the Shadowline trim all the way around, 540i badge. And I'm making this video because this is my new daily driver, and we're going to be doing a lot of work on this thing. And I just wanted to give you guys first impressions of what it's been like driving this thing over the past month or so, as my old daily, the Volvo, exploded. So the situation with the Volvo XC70 2004 is the transmission blew up. I made a video about that and went over what it was like driving that car over the last 4 years. But basically, this is a family car. This is not my car, actually, but I am now responsible for the car. I'm going to be fixing it, and I've really wanted to drive this car for a really long time. It's a lot of fun, and I've been driving it for about a month now, and I've already made a list of things to do to the car, and we've already started working on it. I've done some things. We also made a video repairing a busted brake line under the hood coming off the ABS module. I'm going to show you guys what that's like, and I'm going to point out some things for new E39 owners or people maybe interested in purchasing the car that you guys should look out for. There's really common repairs with these cars that you've got to look out for. There's some things with 540i specifically and just E39s in general, so we're going to hop right into it. So taking a look at the interior, you can see that this has the M door sill. This one is already screwed up recently. This happened when I was working on the seat. I'll explain that in a second. But basically, you can replace these. They're on FCP Euro for like $190. I think I'm going to buy basically all my parts on FCP Euro, by the way, just because I know they have really good customer service. The shipping, I know what the quality is going to be. They sell good parts on that site, and I've already had to buy some things, bought things for the Volvo from that site, and it was good. So the interior, this one's the black with, I think this is called Verona or Avona wood trim. I think it looks pretty freaking sweet. This one does not have the nav screen. It's just got the radio. This does not have a CD changer. It's just the single CD slot in this guy. It's automatic, obviously. That'd be really neat if it was a manual. Also doesn't have the car phone. That's where that would go. There's just a charging cable. This is just a stain on this passenger seat. I'm gonna fix. I need to clean that driver's side door mat and stuff, but the interior is really in clean shape, and this driver's seat looks pretty good right now. A little bit of stuff right there, but I recently leather polished this, or not polished, but I leather conditioned and shampooed, and also it currently does work without the twist. That's what I recently fixed, was the twist. I will put a picture up on the screen of me working on it. Basically, you have to take all the driver cables. There's a bunch of motors under there. You take that connector out, remove the seat. It's a pain in the butt. It's actually pretty simple, but it's pretty difficult to access some of the bolts. And so that I just recently fixed. That was a free fix, but that's a very common problem on the E39s. So look out for that. As far as the back seat, there's stuff back here. But I will say, guys, if you're thinking of hauling a lot of people around, these back seats aren't very big, to be honest with you. There's Nick walking around in the background, but you can see the M door sill back here. It's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of staining here. It's actually blue. It's kind of odd. And then this, you can see this door, I believe, leaked, or a lot of liquid was spilled here, a lot of water, and you can see this liquid, the water stain. So this actually has an issue as well, where on this car specifically has an issue with this door seal. I believe something about the door seal on the bottom. I don't know what it is specifically, but basically water, when it rains really hard, will pool in here in this footwell under the passenger seat. Carpets are really nice, actually, because I just did a bunch of cleaning to them. I use like a special brush and everything. Got my CDs and stuff back here, and a code reader. I'll explain that in a second as well. But you can see it's got the M parallels on it. I just got new tires in the front. These are Continental Extreme Contact Sport Plus DWS 6s, I believe. Let's see right there. And these are sweet tires, I'm not gonna lie. They feel really good. I haven't changed the rears yet. They've got a little more life on them. And I don't know if this is on all E39s or whatnot, but if you guys look down the way, you can see it's got a bit of negative camber. That is stock. It's pretty cool. This is the rear M Sport valence on this car. So yeah, the car's in actually really great exterior shape. It's got a couple little things, and I'm gonna get into the to-do list, but there's a crack on the bumper here in the front. This is a clear bra that was installed not by me or my dad. This is my dad's car. He bought it for my mom to drive, but he bought it back in 2016, I believe. So I've had it for a bit. We haven't put a lot of miles on it because it's been sitting in the garage a lot, but now I guess it's time to use the car. So I'll hop under the hood real quick and show you guys what's going on. Okay guys, we're under the hood of the 540i now. So these E39 540i specifically, they have issues with the timing change on these M62 motors. This is the M62 TU, the later model ones. Got it. It makes a little bit more horsepower. And basically, this is for all the M62s, the early ones as well. The timing chain guides will dry out or get worn down after extreme use and basically go bad. And then they will break off in little chunks, and you'll recirculate plastic in your gear pump or in the oil pump. And then no good, not good. Lose oil pressure, you're gonna grenade your engine, you're gonna kill the engine. It's not so much the timing chain stretching is the issue, it's the guides basically wearing out or drying out and then being used and then drying out, and then that's really not good for the life of them. So these cars, it's actually good to drive them. If you put 200,000 miles on these cars, probably gonna need the chains. But the ABS module is missing right here because I'm getting this sent out to rebuild. That is something on my to-do list that is getting crossed off right now. I'm gonna make a video on that, but basically I was getting a DTC, I was getting a couple codes and the code reader, but I was getting the DTC light, the ABS light, and the brake light coming on, and typically that trifecta of lights is caused by the ABS module. So issues under the hood right now, obviously the ABS module. I don't believe this car needs timing change right now. I'm crossing my fingers. It doesn't really burn oil. It does leak oil. There's an oil leak. The motor mounts are full of oil, and the whole bottom of the pan is all wet, but I just checked the oil, and I'm going to be doing an oil change soon. Also, we did a brake flush on this thing because notice there's a new brake line coming off the ABS pump right there. We did a video replacing that. Check that one out. So I did a full brake flush on that in that video if you guys want to check it out. And the brake boosters under this cabin air filter, it's pretty easy to access. I mean, not as easy to access most cars because usually the brake booster, the master cylinder is just sitting out off of the firewall. But this one's obviously attached to the firewall, but it's under that. You have to remove it. It's not that bad. But this is the oil filter right here if you guys don't know. So very easy access. I like that a lot. I'm gonna be doing an oil change soon, but yeah, under the hood, this car is in working order. Just needs that ABS module. It can be driven without the ABS module, but the gauges do not work correctly, and the tack. Also, this needs a new kidney grill. This one just falls out all the time, and yeah, I'm gonna be fixing that. Oh boy. Okay, we'll fix that in a sec. Okay guys, so this is my to-do list on the car. You can see I've got a couple things already greened out. Sorry for the bad chicken scratch handwriting, but I got the send out ABS module, oil change, purchased the ribbon cable for the radio. The LCD pixels are going bad. That's a common issue on these cars. The fix the driver's seat, I already did that. Buy new front shocks. This car needs front shocks, rear shocks likely. There is this driver's side or passenger side rear wheel has a slight bend in it, and it causes vibrations at about 55 miles an hour typically. And also I'll probably do it, get the wheel fixed and trued, and then I will get new tires right after that. I would like to get the PDR on this door. Probably not gonna be able to see it on camera, but if you run your finger, oh yeah, right there, you guys can see that dent right there. There is a decent couple inch long mild dent that I want to get fixed PDR. There's a couple other door dents on that door specifically, I don't know why. And then also there's a little bit of rash right here on this fender. You guys can see in the paint, a little bit of rust. I need to fix that. I think I might try to fix that myself. And there's also sap on this panel. I kind of wiped down the whole car, but I was parking it under this tree. Sap, so I'm gonna put the cover back on it. But beyond the PDR, I want to do a polish the paint in a lot of locations. Back here, there's some scratches right there, little scuffs. This thing needs a little bit of paint correction. It looks great, like from here, fantastic, but up close, not so much. The cluster ribbon repair also needs to be done. Rear tires, like I mentioned, it needs alignment really bad. Well, not really bad. It pulls to the right a little tiny bit. I want to do the PPF on the front end, get rid of that clear bra. You guys can see, I already showed it, but it just kind of is yellowed. It doesn't look great, and I feel like I want to protect the whole front end. The mirror caps also have PPF or that clear bra stuff on them, but it's really old. It needs to be redone. So how much money have I spent on it so far? I have spent about $600 on the front tires. It was kind of expensive. I'm not going back to Les Schwab. I'm just gonna buy 2 more of those extreme contacts for the rear. And get Cameron to put them on because he has a tire machine at work, and get those balanced, and then we'll do the alignment probably at a shop somewhere. They couldn't do the alignment at Les Schwab, so don't take your E39 to Les Schwab to do an alignment. They're not going to be able to do it. They messed around for like 2 hours and they couldn't do it. It was kind of frustrating, not gonna lie, because they didn't charge me for it, but then the estimate was about $600 for the alignment and the 2 tires, and then after the tires were put on and then they didn't charge me for the alignment, it was still like $600. I don't know why. They were like, oh, the truing fee and all this stuff. Yeah, whatever. So that was about $600. The ABS module is $358 to get it shipped out to the upfix thing. I haven't paid that yet because they will send it back in about 3 to 5 days, as they said, and then you pay for it. So I'm already almost $1,000 there, and then I did spend about $35 on that brake hose and some brake fluid. It wasn't too bad, so basically $1,000. And then the seat was free, basically. I just had to buy some heat shrink. You don't have to buy the heat shrink even, but I just bought it to make the repair a little bit better. That was like $5, so almost already $1,000. I am gonna do an oil change. I already bought a Male filter and Mobil 1 oil to do that, so that was about $75 collectively. This thing takes like 7.5 to 8 quarts or liter, like it's about 8, I think. So it's kind of a lot of oil, so decently expensive oil change. So I'm over $1,000 into it just in a month, but that was mostly the tires, and the ABS module are big. So, you know, when you buy one of these cars or start daily driving in an E39, especially the 540i's, I would say are going to go through consumables and maintenance and stuff a little bit quicker than the 6-cylinder cars likely. I know the M54 cars, the 525s, and then the 530s. I know that's a really reliable engine, but I think they have problems with the cooling system, and there's a lot of things to, you know, just keep up with the maintenance, and you're going to have a great car with those 530s. Another thing with the 6-cylinder cars versus the V8 cars, if you didn't know, this has a steering, I believe it's called recirculating ball steering. It's kind of a box and arm that moves on this like thing that pushes the balls back and forth to, and that's a smaller unit than the racks that the 6-cylinder cars have. So those have a full rack and pinion. So a lot of people like the steering on the 6-cylinder cars a little bit better than the V8s, but the steering on this thing feels so awesome. And as far as the driving experience so far in the month, it's been great. I do have that wheel in the back that needs trued, so it does have a vibration, which is a little bit annoying, but that's just specific to this car. And even though the shocks in the front are leaking, they still, the ride is still great, actually. But as far as my favorite thing about this thing is driving on the freeway. This thing is like chef's kiss. I mean, this thing is so smooth, plenty of passing power. It's so fun to hop on the freeway, and just, man, this thing feels so good, so stable at speed, and it just looks great. You know, this is the type of car where when I drive past something with chrome or like another silver car, I look over and I can see the reflection of this thing driving by, and it looks so good. I think that is where the E39 is the shine. I mean, it's an Autobahn vehicle, specifically the 540s. They're, you know, faster than those 6-cylinder cars, and those cars are a little bit more nimble. They're lighter. Obviously got more weight with the V8, but this thing is well over 4,000 pounds. Can't remember the gross weight exactly, but yeah, you feel the weight of the car, and it does have decently heavy steering. Not heavy, but certainly a lot more than like a modern car like this Subaru right here, and that Chevy in the back, super light steering. And I've actually been driving that last couple days because the ABS module has been out of this, so I don't really want to drive around with no ABS, and also not putting miles on the odometer, and no speedo is not very fun. But yeah, that's about what it's been like so far. So, you know, if you're gonna buy one of these cars, expect maintenance if you want to make it perfect. Now, you could totally buy a beater E39. I think like there's a lot of 528s I see or whatever, and some 525s and stuff that are really cheap. Some of them like $2,000 for like a wagon I saw the other day, and you could just kind of like, you know, keep those things running, do the oil change, whatever, and you don't have to worry about cosmetic issues. But since this car was already in pretty good shape. I really want to keep it nice, and you'll find that cars in general, to keep it nice, like really dialed in when they get to this age, that's where you start to really rack up the money, because things like the PDR, the PPF, those aren't super necessary, but they're going to be decently expensive. And then also, you know, you could ride around with these shocks that are just leaking for a while, but if you really want to keep it dialed in, you should spend the money on the shocks. And I think I'm going to do not just the actual shocks themselves, the struts in the front. There's a kit that FCP Euro sells that's all the top hat and the shock mount and everything, and all these dust boot and everything to keep it really dialed in. I'm gonna probably do that whole kit to keep the front suspension really nice. It probably needs, you could probably do the thrust arm bushings, I know are a common problem on these, I think. I can't remember if those are also in the back. I can't remember, but I'll probably also do a diff service. The diff service on these are super easy. This does not have an LSD. The 540i's did not have an LSD, at least here in America. And if you guys don't know, in Europe there's a bunch more M Sport cars. Basically they had a bunch of these M Sport cars before the final model year of this, where in the US we only got the 03 M Sport. And they also have a 535i over there that's also a V8 that's a little bit smaller. I don't know much about that car, but that's pretty neat. So hopefully that was some good information for you guys if you're looking into purchasing an E39. These cars won a lot of Motor Trend Car of the Year awards. I mean, these things are built to last. I think as far as body-wise, and the interior holds up pretty great. And these are really, really special driving cars, I think. Kind of bygone era, the peak of BMW kind of era, early 2000s, you know, with the E46 and the E38, and then that Z8 was around and everything. So this car, I'm really, really happy with the way it is right now, actually, but a lot of stuff to do, like I mentioned, and hopefully I gave you guys some good information as far as all the issues and problem points that you may run into owning an E39. I don't know as much about the 6-cylinder cars. I've only been around the V8 car here. So also talking about pricing as far as these V8s, the 6-speed cars are definitely more expensive, especially the M Sports. A lot of the ones I see are up over $10,000 as long as they're good, in good condition. If it's a M Sport, an 03 540i, I see a lot of black ones and then silver ones. And then you can kind of find ones for like 5-6 grand in decent shape, non-M Sport cars, like early ones with the 6-speed. But that 6-speed, I haven't driven it. Seems really fun though, so I would definitely recommend if you can get one of those for sure. But the 5-speed automatic is pretty solid, the ZF. And then I think the 6-speed cars are Getrag transmission, if I remember correctly. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, checking out my new daily driver, and learned a little bit about E39s. And yeah, if you're in the market for an M5, I guess you're at a different price range. but those are really special cars too. I wish I could own one of those someday. I think that's a dream of mine. So thank you guys for checking out the video, and looking forward to making some content on the 540i in the future.